Some forms of distraction are terrible and will cause you to fail, and some will actually lead to your greatest successes. The way to tell the difference between the two is critical, and I'm going to explain how to do that while I walk my daughter. There she is. She's super cute. This idea is fresh on my mind because it came up in a extended coaching intensive with a CEO I work with as we were walking through the woods here in Nashville. He didn't know if his distractions were the good kind or if it was the quote-unquote bad kind. The bad kind you're familiar with. It is when you are avoiding something. You're kind of afraid of something, you're nervous about something, and so you are distracting yourself with something comfortable, something entertaining, something safe. But then there's the good kind of distraction, like when Steve Jobs was distracted by a calligraphy course. He just was interested in it, even though he was pursuing a career in tech. A decade later, he says that calligraphy class was the reason he invested so much time, money, energy, resources into a new kind of typography, a digital interface for personal computers, and it changed how personal computers were made forever. If you find yourself distracted by something and you don't know if this is just shiny object syndrome or if it's your next stroke of genius that will work out a decade from now and make you millions of dollars, then you are not alone. This is the type of question that my client had the other day. The good news is you already know the answer. In fact, you shouldn't ask a consultant or a coach or a teammate or employee or anything for the answer because you already know the answer.
Yeah, you already know the answer.
The reason you can't trust your wisdom, your inner gut knowing about this distraction is 99% chance because shame. Shame about being distracted, about where you should have been, how it didn't work out last time, how you always chase shiny objects, how you never finish the job you said you'd do, how you always abandon your goals, how other people are depending on you, and how dare you be distracted, blah, 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 blah. That's shame. Shame. Once you clear that inner static of shame, you can hear your inner wisdom and make the right call. You'll know if you have to ditch this distraction and you'll gain the bravery to take the action you've been avoiding, or you'll be able to immerse yourself in the distraction fully without guilt, giving it focus and allowing it to do whatever it needs to do without making any demands or placing mental attachments on the outcome. My clients and I use a process called the release method to do this, either in conversation, like I did with my clients in the woods, or they use a custom AI version of the tool that I made for them. You don't have to do that, but you do want to pay attention to when the distractions come, because either way, they are pointing you towards the next brave step.